A huge Marvel crossover event brings together the X-Men and the Eternals in a way that is both official and very dangerous. Also, AXE, Judgment Day Omega, which came out recently, showed that the Eternals' Great Machine and the ex-Krakoa men have a secret history together. This may be the saddest part of the end of the event. All this is in the video for today. Starting us off, the Eternals and the X-Men are becoming one in Marvel Comics. The Eternals and the X-Men are joining together in a way that has never happened before in Marvel Comics. This will have huge effects on both groups in the future. In Marvel's new Judgment Day event, both species are fighting a bloody war, and when a Celestial comes back to life and attacks Earth, the whole world is in danger. But Axe Judgment Day number 4 shows the X-Men, the Eternals, and their new and dangerous partnership can stop the threat. The bad part of the event was when the progenitor Celestial, which used to be an Avengers base, woke up and decided to judge everyone on Earth. The event started when the Eternals attacked the X-Island men of Krakoa. Humans, mutants, and Eternals are judged both as individuals and as a group. Many see a thumbs up or down from the Celestials, who often appears as the person the accused most admires. If anything doesn't measure up, the Celestial will destroy everything, and every attempt to talk has failed. So, the Avengers, who are caught in the middle of the fight, try to destroy the Celestial, but that also doesn't work. In Axe Judgment Day number 4, the Rebel Eternals, who are on the side of the X-Men and want to stop the war, come up with a plan. Replace Prime Eternal Druig with Eros, who can then use his power to stop the progenitor Celestial. To do this, Eternals change the firewalls of the Unimind, which is where most Eternals meet, which also doubles as a weapon. With the safety features turned off, the X-Men and the Eternals go into the Unimind and become one mind and one entity. Eros is chosen as the next Prime Eternal very quickly. However, the union is not permanent. Even though the union is only temporary, it is a turning point in the history of Marvel Comics. Before this, the Unimind was only for Eternals and not for mutants. But the X-Men have crossed the gap and gone to the most powerful place of the Eternals. At the same time, Krakoa gives the Deviants official status as mutants, which lets them pass through the many gates to the Paradise Island. With each issue, the differences between mutants and Eternals get smaller, and the two groups now have more in common than ever before, especially when resurrection is taken into account. Mutants and Eternals can both come back from the dead as many times as they want, but there are some things that can't be changed. If Professor Xavier's Cerebro doesn't back up a mutant's mind regularly, they can lose their memories. When an Eternal comes back to life, a human must be killed. It is the darkest secret of the Eternals, and most are not even aware of the sacrifice. The bitter war between the X-Men and the Eternals will end with only one side left, but it could be a mix of both. Well, the X-Men and Eternals' origins have a heartbreaking connection. The Great Machine, or the Machine that is Earth, was first mentioned in Neil Gaiman's Eternals number 3, 2006. It's a sentient but obedient artificially intelligent machine that works for the ancient Eternals. It's made up of many machines all over the Earth's crust. In his recent, well-received run on Eternals, Kieron Gillen gave the Great Machine a rebellious and funny personality, and the character quickly became a fan favorite. At the same time, the living island of Krakoa has been a part of Earth for thousands of years. It is now home of the new X-Men's Utopia, and it has a big say in what happens to the young country. Most of the Earth's heroes, villains, and regular people were brutally killed by a rampaging Celestial on the chaotic Judgment Day. However, in Judgment Day number 6, the progenitor realized it didn't have the right to destroy Earth and put everything back to how it was before the event. Even though most things seem to go back to normal, the crisis has a huge impact on the world. Many people have been traumatized by their own deaths and the deaths of their loved ones. The Eternals have publicly apologized and made up for what they did to the mutants. Ajax has become a new hybrid of an Eternal and a Celestial, and Tyrannos will keep torturing Druig forever. On top of all this, the Great Machine's willing sacrifice was one of the saddest deaths in Judgment Day. In order to protect Earth from the progenitor, the machine lets Phastos reset it. This erased its personality, which had been built up over millions of years. Krakoa and the Great Machine were family. This tender moment for Krakoa has been building for weeks. The one-shot Axe Eve of Judgment showed that Krakoa has always been an important part of the Great Machine, so no Eternal has been able to hurt it directly. This was interesting in and of itself because it showed that Krakoa is so important to the Earth's systems that hurting it moment would mean going against the Eternals' most important directives. In Judgment Day Omega, Phastos, the Eternal who had to reset the Great Machine, brings a message pod from the machine to the ex-Krakoa. This makes the connection between the Great Machine and Krakoa even stronger. Phastos says that 1,000,000 years ago, when the Celestials came to Earth to make the Eternals and Deviants, they also made the Great Machine and based its system on the living island Krakoa. Goodbye, mommy, daddy, self, other, was the message that the Great Machine left for Krakoa. The moment is so sad that Krakoa sheds a silent tear when he reads the message. This shows the reader that even though the connection between the two characters was just made official, it was clear that Krakoa also felt close to the Great Machine. Thanks to the Great Machine's cheeky wink emoji at the end of the last page, Krakoa may get to meet its child again someday. As a bonus, an original X-Men member just got his darkest upgrade ever. Warren Worthington III started out as the mutant hero with wings, Angel. He was one of the 5 original members of the X-Men, and he's gone through many horrible changes in his long history of comics. However, Legion of X #7 shows his most terrifying animal-like form yet. Legion of X #7 by Cy Spurrier, Nathan Diaz, Federico Blee, and Clayton Cowles follows Nightcrawler and his Legionnaires as they recover from the chaotic, universe-changing Judgment Day event, regaining control of the Legion's astral plane and starting to take on missions again. At the same time, Kurt finds out that his mutation is changing in a way that makes devil horns grow out of his head. This makes the already self-conscious Catholic even more worried about how he looks. After Mr. Sinister is unable to diagnose or treat Nightcrawler's demonic, morphic changes to his DNA, the mutant scientist Dr. Nemesis is able to find a morphic signature match to Nightcrawler's own shifted DNA. Nemesis doesn't know what's causing this change yet, but he thinks that more and more mutants will start to experience it. Nightcrawler, Dr. Nemesis, and Pixie use Megan's teleportation magic to get to where the morphic signature match is. When they get there, they find that the match is coming from Warren Worthington III's office at X-Corps in Los Angeles. There, they meet the Black Knight by accident. Jack tells the X-Men that Angel was attacked by a terrible beast, but Nightcrawler figures out that the beast is actually Angel. Warren Worthington III has never been less of an angel. Of course, this isn't the only time Warren's mutant abilities have changed or grown without his permission. Angel, for example, became one of the Apocalypse's horsemen after En-Sabah-Nur saved Warren's life with his celestial technology. After Apocalypse messed with Warren's genes, he changed his name to Archangel. He now has blue skin, sharp metal wings, and a murderous mind that has been changed by Apocalypse. Warren has been working on his relationship with Archangel for a long time. Archangel is an alternate personality and power that still lives in Angel and sometimes comes out. Just like his X-Corps partner, Monet, and her penance form. Just like Nightcrawler was ashamed of his normal devilish form, Warren was deeply ashamed and traumatized by his time as Archangel, not only because of how he treated his friends and family, but also because he killed so many people. It wouldn't be too much of a stretch to think that Warren's new animal-like avian form will be very hard for him to deal with, if it hasn't already messed up his mind. Warren has already had a secondary mutation that makes his blood able to bring people back to life. However, it seems that Angel and Nightcrawler's morphic changes are not the result of mutant evolution, but of an outside force that is controlling them. Warren Worthington III has been Angel of the X-Men for a long time and has been through more trauma than most people could handle. His most recent change into a monster bird-like creature may be the final push that sends the hero back to a time when he was a villain. Well, that's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Till next time, cheers!